You are not within range.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Within Range podcast. Dom Juan, Snoop Eastwood, Ear God is with us today for this one. Before we introduce our guest, it's important to note that this guest is actually back on our platform because there may or may not have been some technical difficulties on the last time we met with him. So to make it right, we brought the boy back. Excited to talk about his story and journey again and bring it to the people. The slogan of this podcast is to help bring ideas, inspiration, and creativity to our listeners. And I think, what this man's done, he's been in some legendary places. He's filmed some legendary things, legendary people. I mean, Jared, we got like artists, rappers.
Even we were working with someone just before, and out of the blue, we had no idea there'd be a connection there. Sure enough, there is. And I think that speaks volumes.
Facts.
I also just want to say, while Drew is obviously the chief technical officer of this organization, I do take on sort of a satellite pseudo vice president of technology, and that failure was squarely on my shoulders. I think we had the one monitor and we had the video monitoring instead of Pro Tools, so we didn't see when it.
That's correct.
Pro Tools just wasn't feeling that night, and we lost a lot of good men out there, but we're gonna get some good stuff tonight.
Absolutely. So with that being said, photographer and videographer right here in our very own backyard, we are here with Tuna Luna today.
Let's go.
Nice to be back. Hello.
So Tuna, look, I mean, again, thank you for coming. Apologies about the last time. Let's get it right this time.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
All right.
Wayne, dude. Sorry for the wait. Was that Jerry? It was Wayne, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the new spot looks good.
Thank you, man. Hey, and Jared, Jared said that too. He's like, we are giving him a new studio. We're giving him a new vibe this time, so maybe it was meant to be.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
This is you got a standard room at a hotel. Things didn't go well that trip. You let management found out about it, and it was like, all right, we got a better suite for you here next time you come back. So we glad it worked out that way.
Mm-hmm. All right, so grew up in Maryvale area originally, right?
Right, yep.
So for those who, maybe not be from Arizona, from Phoenix, like how would you describe growing up in Maryvale or just Maryvale in general, more or less?
Well, Maryvale in general, it could be from 23rd Ave to Thomas to 99th Ave and Indian School and further, but I'm around the Maryville High School area. So for the most part, I stayed out of trouble, so I didn't really see the games.
You weren't in any of the 602 Byron videos I've seen out there, dude? Filming at the gas station? No, you weren't in there?
No, I'll be behind the camera. That's
okay,
it.
I was going to say, if you pulled up, that's your job would be that. Yeah. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And so, photography, right? That's obviously kind of, what you're known for, kind of what, your main bread and butter. When did that knack pick up for you? When did you realize you had a thing about it?
Man, so I never knew I had this talent in me. And so the first time I found out was probably when I was looking through Instagram. I was unemployed. And that's when I found out that there's so much talent out here that I'm just missing out and see what I can do. I wanted to be in the same shoes and same spots that as a lot of people were. And so, growing up from Maryville, we didn't have these opportunities. I'll explain this to my mom, and she'll never believe the rooms that I've been. So just the first time that I noticed was, I told myself, I'm going to buy myself a little kit camera. I was unemployed, so I bought it off my unemployment money. And
nice.
So that was.
Hey, listen, you were using it better than I'm sure plenty of people.
Had to use the resources wisely.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. So I used that to my advantage, bought my first car. So I think the first time that I noticed that a lot of people appreciated was just popping out to local artists.
Okay.
Shot people like White, I think his name is YK Yosh, Joey Frecco, Eli Benz, just local artists. And, just they didn't know me at first. And so what I did was just did my thing, would see what I could do, and then tag them. They didn't know who Tuna was. And so that's how the name just grew.
Who took this crazy picture of me is what better way to market?
Right. Who's this guy that just popped out? And I think that's a nice gesture. And to me, I give that to advice to anyone. If anyone wants to get into the world, just do that. Like, just pop out and just
Network.
Yeah, network. That's the way I did it.
It's like it's of themselves. It's gonna grab their attention,
Right.
and if it ends up being positive, like you already have that in of like people
Right.
want to see themselves. I love
Exactly.
that. I think what else is cool about what you were saying there is like you saw the music scene and you were like, oh, I want to be in these rooms, or I saw these things going on out here, and you attacked it from your angle of like
Yeah.
photography, which just speaks to like that's what music does too. It's like it's a whole ecosystem.
Right. It
of
kind of
things.
just you gravitated towards it.
There's engineers and producers and videographers and promoters. Like there's this whole ecosystem that it's cool
Right.
to see someone plug in from like a different angle of like, oh, I want to just shoot music videos, or I just
Right.
want to be a producer or this or that. You're like, no, I'm going to take like really amazing pictures. And then what a way to market yourself.
Right. I love the
Facts.
music too. So I've always been grown up around like 60s, 70s, 80s music, 90s. And then just being involved in it now, I learned a lot, just seeing how the artists, how their lives work around labels or being independent. Just the way that I learned a lot, just people just setting up stages, like production. So I got to experience a lot of that.
What's your vote then? Independent or signed to a label?
So from what I've been listening to and watching, if you're popping and you're on your own and you don't need no traction numbers to show, just stay independent.
That's what I've heard. I've heard 20,000 actual fans that will purchase things from you. Merch is more valuable than
Right.
like a $1 million, $2 million record deal in the long run.
And then I guess if you need the machine behind you just to get to the next step, I guess, like to get further to places where you can't be, then obviously just use the machine behind it, like the label.
Makes sense. Love that.
I mean, I don't want to get into some of the names maybe too early because we got some backstory still. But like you just talked about, like you were at a particular event with somebody. What was that event? Where were you?
I'm trying to remember what event we were talking about.
The gentleman that was here before.
Oh, so we met at an event that we had an opportunity to shoot with weed vendors at Sunsplash. So he happened to be a model, and I don't know like how they reached out to him or how they knew him, but obviously the world is so small. This state is so small. Like
Yeah.
I knew him. And
Fifth largest city in the
Yeah, we
U.S.
still-
Yeah, you
that
could
happens,
link up
yeah.
like that.
So if you're in the scene or if you're like in the media world, entertainment, you'll notice a lot of people.
It'll
that,
happen.
But it's cool seeing him like just doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's what I like to see.
Yeah.
Just doing a little bit of everything, kind of like how I do.
Just being creative.
Just being creative and just getting into things that you would like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So shooting into the weed industry, that's how I met, bro.
That's cool. Have you been plugged in with that for a while? More recent?
Yeah. So
or?
shout out to Deep Stories, Thomas.
I think we follow them.
Deep Stories.
I think we
okay.
follow
Yeah.
Deep Stories.
Yeah, they're cool people. Thomas, he plugged me in like 3 years ago. They talked about Pregame, which is an event that they had at Tempe. I forgot the name of the venue, but basically you could drink inside and smoke outside, kind of a duo thing. And so they grew that into Cannaland and Sunsplash. So they had the connections there, and then they made it twice. They happened twice.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah, basically you can go to Sunsplash, and if you're a member, you can just pay for a ticket, and if you're a member, you can smoke anywhere you want to go.
At Sunsplash too.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotta
That's
hit the
cool.
windmill on hole 8. No.
Yeah, so I don't know anyone
Yeah,
else
the
out here
mini
doing
golf
that.
shit, yeah.
I don't know anyone else doing that out here. So shout out to Deep Stories.
That's awesome, man.
I love unique venues like that. It adds such a layer to an event when you do that.
And I feel like their niche is it's a competitive world because I've got to see the weed world, and it's so gruesome too. Like just like the music, like it just can be
All
just
cutthroat.
as
When
sloppy.
There's that much money on the line.
Yeah,
That's
and
what happens.
a lot of
yeah.
cheap motherfuckers too, bro. Like I've noticed
Not
that.
skipping out on you. Yeah.
Just skipping out, just a lot of things that I noticed similarities in. So it's nothing new.
Of all the things to skimp on, I feel like I'm skimping on like a food vendor or something like that, but I want it to look good.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the event sucks, I want it to look good. How are you not paying a photographer? That's crazy. I
that's a
want
good
cool
point.
images of it to get out there.
I like to say it's a luxury to hire a photographer or a videographer just because
It's a
not
plus.
everyone can
Yeah,
afford it.
Yeah.
So I guess that's just a service to them, and when their time's done, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, scummy to not pay someone for that service. My goodness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So before we get into like the who's who of who you've shot and been with, Tuna Luna, the name itself.
Yes, sir.
How did that come about?
Shout out to Coach Bailey. Pan American High School is the high school that I went to, and I played soccer, and so we all kind of had a nickname.
Okay.
And it was either Weddle, Jay, Luna, but Coach came with Tuna, and yeah.
If he hears Luna, he's just going Tuna
Luna.
That's a coach. That's a coach thing.
That's a coach thing, right?
So, I went to a small high school, and our football coach was one of our like history lit teachers,
Drew, cut that.
and he just he would give everyone nicknames, and it was always somewhat off your name, but or he observed you do like the slightest weird thing one time in passing, and that was your entire identity to him. But like, so my last name's Suitor, he called me Suture or suit yourself.
Right.
Like it would be something like that. He'd be like, suit yourself. What are you talking about?
Damn.
And I'd be like, damn.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Suit yourself.
That's
Yeah,
fucking
dude, suit
funny,
yourself.
dude.
Dude, that was I had that on Instagram for a while, dude. I was suit yourself. But yeah, dude, that's such a coach thing.
Yeah,
like he hears Luna, he's like, whoa, Tuna Luna, yeah.
There was Lunar Module, Lunatic. There was all kinds of names, but Tuna stuck out. And so it wasn't until after, like during college, I was thinking about the brand, or just not even a brand, just the name Tuna, and kind of tied it in with branding, kind of tied it in with marketing, tying it in with my photography. So I was just doodling in class in college, just, thinking of designs. And this is literally the first design I came with. And
The AKs?
the AKs as the T's.
As the T. It's literally, it's just one of the hardest logos
Thanks, brother.
out there.
Thank
it
you.
really is.
And
It's brilliant.
I like guns, but I don't, it has nothing to do with
It
any
just
guns.
worked
It
with what-
just works.
yeah.
I get asked all the time, what's up with the guns? It just worked with the T. I also have another design where the T's, the designs with the AKs is on the A's.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You can see that in the video too. So
With a
we'll
clip
make
in
sure,
between too.
show
Yeah,
that,
that's sick.
Yeah.
So
I like that. We get that about the bullet, but it's just within range.
Yeah, like we
thought
don't
about a
even-
shooting
we don't
range.
fuck
We
with
just
guns,
liked
but-
it.
I like that. That makes sense.
Made
The
sense.
bullet kind of goes with the range, and yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's actually funny though. When I was making the logo, I reached out to one of my former interns. She does like graphic design and stuff like that, and I was like, "Hey, can you draw up this picture?" And she was like, "Yeah, that's fine." So I was coming up with different ideas, and I went through Canva and like kind of did like some different sample templates, and I found kind of what became our logo, or not our logo, but our cover for the podcast. And I sent it to the guys, and I think Dom's girlfriend had said something, and then my girlfriend said something, and what I thought was a bullet, and it looked like it had this sonar around it, which I thought was really cool.
It looked like a Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah,
I
and,
remember the
and they
first time
both
I was like,
and
I
both
don't know
that
if
both my girlfriend and his girlfriend were
Remember
like,
that?
yeah, she was like, is that a
Why you have a
boat?
Wi-Fi bar?
She
Yeah,
was,
I was like,
yeah,
what
it
is
was actually a boat. She was like, is that a boat?
Yes,
What
that's
does
right.
the boat have to do with within range? And I'm like, that's a bullet. She goes, no, that's a boat.
Yeah,
crazy.
it was
And
like
so-
a boat, and then it looked like Wi-Fi, and I'm like, I don't think that's what we.
Yeah,
do.
she
The
goes-
hardest sailing podcast in the.
Yeah, so
that's funny.
yeah, so we changed it from the boat obviously to the bullet, and it's cool because in your logo, I think it also is very similar tied to is certain things may not make sense at first, but when you look at it, it makes perfect sense.
Especially the name Tuna. Like everyone, I always say, you're not going to forget Tuna. Just remember the face.
Right.
Yep.
But if I give you Tuna, it's like, it was such a smart marketing tool just to, out here at least. I don't know any other tunas that are shooting photos.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And so, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying this. If you did like instead of maybe AKs like hunting rifles, and you did like a Columbia fishing collab or something like
That
that
would
with
be-
the logo,
that'd be dope.
That'd be
I'm
dope.
just saying. If you did like some outdoor photography,
yeah.
it would go crazy. People would eat that up. People
So
would
shout
eat
out
that
to
up.
Nappy Visuals. He came up with a shirt that says, "You're not even a shooter," and it's small in the front and big old letters in the back, kind of like awful cough syrup, like the same lettering.
Oh yeah. The
So-
promethazine. Kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah. So I wear that shirt every time, and same thing with that one. It's like such a great shirt because people are like, "What does that mean?"
Yeah.
I'll be in the club, bro. I like your shirt, but what does that mean? Like sizing me up. I'm like, whatever you interpret it, man. So shout out to him because I kind of want to promote that a little bit because it's such a hard tee and we need like more creative things like that out here.
I love that reaction. I think that's a great reaction to something like a shirt or any work of art like that, where it's just like, that's dope. I don't get it, but I love it.
Right,
Like that's
exactly.
it's like
It
that's
works.
that's like the most. You already have the core attraction there, and someone's gonna like it regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have like a cool backstory, or like you have something to explain it. Like that's when
Facts.
you really grab people. I love
yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So I think if I think back, Jared, we first met him at Big Homie's event.
Yeah, it was.
Remember? I don't know if you remember. I don't know. It was like maybe a year ago. It was in the summer.
It was like in a warehouse.
Yes.
in the warehouse. Yeah.
So that was the first time we had linked up. So we know you've been at that event, right? But transitioning into like again, I'm just gonna run through just some of the names.
It's crazy.
All right,
dude.
just a
crazy.
few, and then whatever you want to
Crazy.
talk about or expand on, feel
Okay.
free. I'll just start with Waka Flocka,
My dog.
I Swear Vezo, Little Dirk, Quavo, Ace Hood. When I mentioned Waka Flocka, you said my dog.
That's my dog.
Talk to us about the boy.
So I first met him with Travis Porter. Or no, I lied. So I met
Remember
him.
Travis Porter, dude?
Dude.
Yeah, we'll get into Travis Porter later.
Okay, now, ladies.
Yeah. So I met him. Actually, I manifested this. I'm not gonna lie, because I really wanted to shoot him before even touching the camera.
Waka, you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I picked up my camera, there was a club, Club International.
Yes, in
Yeah,
Scottsdale.
yeah.
It's not there no more.
Been there.
It's Cake.
Yes,
I think.
I remember Club
Yeah,
International.
Cake, it is now. But yeah, he was walking through. He was doing a walkthrough, and I was like, "This is my perfect opportunity." And I had a plug, and yeah, first time shooting him was at International. And then further on, he knew, obviously, he's from Atlanta, so he knows Travis Porter and them. So when I met them and they linked, we just got closer because, yeah, Walker's just a cool dude to talk to. You know, if you ever meet him, he's like a solid person.
Just like a normal.
Normal guy. He's real spiritual. He's about his life, like positivity, just pushing, good shit,
You're gonna talk about some guy that's grown, like and like I remember when I first started hearing his music, like I think it was our big Grove Street party, probably
Yes.
like around then. And I remember like being really into it. And I'm like, that was another one where it was like, I don't know what this is because I've not heard
But you
anything
fucks
like
with
this,
it.
but I was like, yeah, I'm drawn to it. And so I like look him up on YouTube, and like one of the first things I saw was he was at it. I think he was at a bowling alley and like got
yeah.
into a fight, and like I mean. It's Waka, dude. He absolutely torched a guy.
Right, yeah.
He just torched a guy in
he's a
the
big
in
dude.
the AMC lanes, and I was like, whoa, this guy's crazy. So like I think about that, and then how like aggressive his music was at the time, and like the person that you see now, because like I see him on podcasts
bro.
and stuff. Like I saw someone that I look at as like a business like influencer or like a YouTube personality, and he was like, yeah, he's like, I actually like talk to Waka a lot, and when I see videos sometimes of him, he's like, I'll talk to my team and be like, are we doing that?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Check
Waka's-
with it. Yeah. Yeah.
He's like he's all into the trusts and like having layers of that and like yeah he's so dialed in, dude. Like that's a guy that's
Yeah, he's a cool
grown
guy.
up. Yeah.
Wally the Sensei was another guy. When he tapped in, I tapped in with them. Just doing walkthroughs in the club. They'll get like an Airbnb, spend the night. Like I get a chance to just hang out with them and just.
Oh, you're shooting there. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Snapping.
That's
pics.
Yeah, it's probably the best to just hit them up personally and like I don't know, maybe a DJ they bring along just for the night, just come along, and it's probably the best just to shoot with them all day. Like you get to know them more.
yeah.
experience
That's so
is
cool. You just
better.
catch all these candid.
Yeah,
'cause
and they're cool guys. Like
Yeah,
you
cool
get-
stuff's happening.
They're cool guys.
Yeah.
Like they go to the mall. Like they have kids. They talk about family. I'm not shy to ask. I'll ask questions like that. Like how many
Yeah.
kids you have? You got any brothers, sisters? Oh, I got 5 sisters. You know what I mean? Just chop it up like normal.
Man.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Was anyone that you've been around, were you ever starstruck?
Like personally in front.
Just
like,
anyone that you like maybe shot or maybe became closer with than you would have thought that you were just like.
Yeah, even if
whoa.
you handled it well, you didn't have to like fumble it or
Yeah,
anything.
anyone
but
that
you were
kinda
just,
took
like,
you-
in
took
your
you
mind, you were like,
aback.
holy shit.
Man, there's a lot.
Because I see a few of those on here.
I know, I'm like looking at the list, but like I
Oh.
just want to hear it from you yourself.
There's a lot. So none of my favorites that I've shot yet, but yeah, I would say, man, there's so many. So like D Savage, there's Shorty. There's I would say Rod Wave. Like
Oh, that's
Rod
crazy.
Wave.
he's
Yeah,
probably
that's
the
cool.
biggest artist that I've shot, and just not even being close to him, but just being there and that energy and the
Where do you perform at?
He performed at the Van Buren. I'm gonna say.
Oh, like that's a smaller venue. I mean, it's-
I'm not. Maybe Arizona Federal Financial Theater. It's a
okay,
little bigger.
I
okay,
can see
that's
that.
a big.
It was a
yeah,
big
yeah,
arena.
That's a
I can
bigger
see that.
arena. Okay.
Kevin Gates was there. That's
Kevin
like a Kevin
Gates was
Gates.
there.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So I think he's actually coming tomorrow, and I'm actually working on seeing if I can actually shoot his show. Like, I'm just like this weekend. There's so many big shows. There's O3 Greedo Sunday. There's tonight was Don Tolliver.
Don Tolliver was tonight?
Oh my
It's
God.
tonight.
Jared, how do we
Yeah, Rod Wave tomorrow.
Man.
take a deep breath on
Yeah.
that?
Dude.
So like how I so how I
Concert
remind
guys over here.
Can't save us, not at all.
yeah how I remind myself with these concerts though. I tell my boy Nappy all the time, like, just screenshot the shows and you'll come back to your photo albums and you'll be like, oh, okay, I need to tap in.
I did that with 42 Doug. He's coming in December, by the way.
42 Dark.
Yeah,
I
dude.
tapped in with this DJ.
Have you?
Flex, yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
let's link up or do something for the 42
yeah.
Doug
Go
show
there,
because I
dude.
fuck with 42 Doug.
He was supposed to be here twice, bro.
Yeah, I know.
And he couldn't make
Well, he
it.
was locked up a little. We
The
won't
first
talk about
one,
that.
yeah, and then the second one, I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to him to come for sure.
Man.
I love 42.
Dom told me we just missed Corn, dude.
Corn
I'm
was
devastated
Corn,
by that.
man,
I'm devastated by that,
Drew with the
dude. Corn. We saw Creed and Three Doors
That was
Down.
awesome.
Okay.
Recently, that
That's
was
not
pretty.
bad.
That was pretty awesome. That was its own experience.
You guys like Stained?
Yes,
Dude, I know.
They're
Yeah,
tonight.
Stained is tonight, man.
Daughtry,
see-
3 Days
hey, listen,
Grace. Yeah.
Phoenix.
Wait,
Phoenix
Daughtry
gets some
and 3
names.
Days Grace.
All at the same time.
Dude. Oh, Dom. 3 Days Grace is like they go neck for neck and with Linkin Park on like the angriest like when I was a teenage music. They have a song that's I Hate Everything About You, dude. It's amazing. It's great
Teen Angst
music.
playlist.
Oh my god,
Yeah, exactly.
that's a great concert. Oh, okay, wow. I need to get my my alerts going. It's not good.
What's some of the names you found on that list? Drew?
Well, we got to talk about Ace Hood because we saw you there as well, dude.
Oh,
We-
yeah.
we
I
love
forgot
Ace Hood,
about
dude.
that.
We've been rocking with Ace Hood since high school.
Hell yeah.
We loved that show, dude. That was cool. Like, how
They-
did you end up there? Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, they put them in the underground.
in the basement.
Okay,
of-
thank you for saying
yeah,
it, dude.
call that out. real
Listen,
quick.
I hate to even say say it, but like,
Drew, by the way, Lex.
That was fucked up,
Really
dude.
quick, not to cut Jared off, Drew, just so you know, Lex is performing on the upstairs main stage.
no, stop that.
Ace Hood
Stop
is
that.
performing in the basement of where Lex will be performing on the main stage.
Dude.
So continue.
Dude, and
Yeah.
you know who else
Did
they
my
put
boy
down, dude?
dirty,
They put our brother
man.
Riff down there, dude. They put Riff Raff.
Riff Raff was down there.
Listen,
yeah.
but and I'm just
I
saying.
performed down there.
V's
just
was
saying.
down there. V's.
Really?
They put him
V's
down
was
there.
down there. Yeah, that's right. You shot some of that down there.
I was there too.
Hey, but what an intimate spot to shoot though. I mean,
It's
I
not
feel like
bad.
if you're a photographer, like that might be one of the.
That's not bad.
Yeah?
We'll make it work. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you guys seen the photos when I was there with Ace Hood.
Dude, I haven't seen him. No.
No.
Yeah, you know
Such
what?
an
I don't
OG.
know if we have.
Dude,
yeah,
he's-
I had to be there.
He is such an OG, and then we ended up because he has Slim Diesel with him. It's like it's actually his
yeah.
best friend.
Shout out
and
Slim
he was at the
Diesel.
show,
Yeah.
and we ended up getting plugged in with him. We interviewed him, and like just hearing from that angle too.
He was his
about, like,
best
just-
man at his wedding.
Yeah, dude. Like
See,
and
that's
just
dope.
how like Ace and conducts himself, and how him and Slim work together. Like
Yeah.
just like again, just good dudes.
And
just
you're
good
in
guys.
and you're in these rooms. I mean, is it important for you? Like, I guess with some people, do you feel like you can make a connection with someone, or you know when it's just like a business? type of
You'll know. You'll know when something is like I said, it's the type of day you get. So if you get to hang out with them all day, you have better chances of having a better connection. Sometimes you can have a connection right there on stage, and like they might see that you're working, that you show them the photos and whatnot. It's happened to me before where I've made friends on stage and like we've been connected. But
I mean, if you're at the Airbnb, if you get that
That's
invitation,
great.
you know you're
That's
locked in.
exclusive
Like
shit,
that.
yeah.
That's the dream.
That's
I
the
mean,
dream,
That's the
yeah,
dream.
yeah.
If you're not yourself, like for some people, it's like, oh, I would love to be in there and making music. With
Right,
them.
right.
Fine. If that's not your dream, that's it. You want to be at the
Right.
Airbnb before the
Exactly.
show.
Or even just being
seeing-
backstage,
yeah.
like getting access to like
Yeah.
the artist green room.
Yeah.
It's pretty
The
cool. Like,
BTSs, dude. That's what they.
Okay, so sometimes you spend a lot of time with the people you're shooting. In any situation, though, what are the top maybe 3 pet peeves? Like for anyone out
Any
there
situation.
that's gonna like just like as a photographer when you're shooting an artist in that way, maybe you can differentiate between video or photography.
Yeah.
But for me, like just if you're shooting an artist, like what are the top 3 things that like they might do that just drives you nuts and upcoming artists should avoid?
So it just depends on how you lay out the deal, right? So if you leave out a lot of loopholes, most of it is your fault for not laying it out. But one of the pet peeves that even if you lay it out, deposits, like if you're just talking all this, rah, you got the ideas, you got the hopes and dreams at this point, like, there's no money in talking. Like, that's probably the last thing that's being talked about.
Why is your phone ringing, Jared?
Yeah, I got money on my phone. Dude.
Yeah.
Why you got money on your phone?
That's the last thing that they want to talk about is money for some reason. Like, that's probably the most important
Because they
thing.
might trying to get shit for free, man.
Right.
It's crazy how prevalent that is.
Yeah,
And especially with creative work, where it's like, oh, don't you do it because you love it, or like because you mess with me? And it's
Exactly.
like, well, yeah, but I do it at a high level, and that needs to be rewarded, and that's just the way the world works, dude.
Right, yeah, you know your value, and so there's a point in time where you'll let someone, you'll hook them up, and then there's a point in time like, all right, I make money off this now, so.
Yeah, and people be like, oh, he did it for free, and it's just like,
Right.
honestly,
you don't got that.
they're
You
like-
don't got
it's
that
just like,
connect though.
Yeah.
I just fuck with that person more, and I'm sorry, and that is the way
Yeah.
some of that works.
I mean,
sometimes.
another-
it has to.
Another instance, I've worked with artists. I probably shouldn't say names, but man, I've worked with artists where we've been cool, and yeah, man, like they will just use me till all my juices are dried up, and there's
Like,
a
all
point
right,
in
man.
time where I'm above that now. Like if you're a photographer, or videographer, you'll notice when someone's using you, and like the people around, you'll have homies that are trying to get on the same shoots and shoot behind the scenes too with you. There'll be like more than one shooter, more than just me. So I mean, I'll give them credit; they're trying to, but like. You just know the differences in value. Like, if you want to stay cheap, you can stick with them. But
Right.
there's a point in time where if you're going to continue working with me, I got to lay down this rate now.
Pay for quality.
Pay for quality. Even my family members, same thing. Like, there can't be no discounts. Like,
Not even a discount.
Even the family members ain't getting.
I mean,
Damn.
I can't.
That's crazy.
I
Wow,
mean,
I love that.
Even with with friends, like you can't ask for a discount on like T-shirts if they're selling a T-shirt business. Like
It's true. You should pay full price.
full price.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's just I'm learning this still, and like it's hard to lay down the actual rate that you want versus like I'll tell you, I'll be straight up. Like there's a difference between you needing money and then like you knowing your worth and just sticking to your bullet, like to your guns. Like it's hard to like take that quick money, but knowing you're not even worth $100 for an hour, like, but you need it though, like for some reason, bills. But it's hard to like just stick to your word, and that's what I'm working on.
And if you've built up a resume, and I mean some of these names again on this list, I mean you know what your value is.
Right,
You got to charge for it.
Oh yeah,
And sometimes you got to do what you got to do in any business starting out, and it's just like, yeah, you evolve over time, and like then you justify that rate, and then it's easy to ask for
Yep.
it, and you're like, look at the portfolio.
exactly. Look at the
Look
portfolio.
at the
the work-
portfolio. You want that? I'm telling you, that's what this costs.
Exactly.
And you're like, oh, it's an hour at a time. Well, it took me years of work and failure and success to get you this product, and
Facts.
that's what you're paying for. You're not paying for just the hour.
I'm probably not the only one that deals with this, but like, like budget shoots, not having too many budget shoots. People start getting, they start getting used to those shoots. Like when the time comes, oh, Tuna's gonna say, oh, 150 for an hour. Let me wait till he drops that. But until then, I'm just gonna, not fuck with him.
Yeah.
I've had people do that. That's another
Really?
pet peeve. Just wait till the discounts drop and shit. So. Yeah, collabs is a different story. Collaborations, it's like I'll only do a collab if I reach out to you. But if you reach out to me, it has to be like a great idea.
Yeah.
For sure. I just
It's
can't.
like this, right?
Yeah, this is a dope. Yeah, this is dope.
Yeah.
Love
It's just
this.
the way the market works, though. It's the way any
Yes.
market works. I feel like
Yep.
people don't get that. I mean, we do this for free, and like we've interviewed a lot of people, and I think we've heard like they interview who they want.
We have heard that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the platform.
And it's
Nice
true.
stuff.
Like, I
That's-
mean, let's be honest.
That's quite literally the platform.
Exactly.
And I think that gives us a certain level of authenticity of like,
Yeah.
okay, if you're on here, like we mess with you, and for you, it's like, okay, if we're not necessarily doing this for a living right now, but if you're making a living off of taking pictures, it's like, yeah, absolutely. Like, sure. And you'll have your passion projects that,
Facts.
yeah, I reached out to this person and I feel like working with them benefits me. And that has a different economic benefit than them paying you, like, regardless. Like, so it's just the way it works, man. It hurts people sometimes because you have to swallow a pill of like,
Oh,
okay,
man.
you have to swallow that pill of like, I'm here.
Right.
And I think accepting that is important, and it's not negative. It's just where you're at. You know?
Exactly. And then I can continue on just like with the pet peeves. Like I've had issues where people just step on my shoes, or like I've noticed people step on my shoes, like taking clients or whatever. Like it's not my fault. I'm not gonna stop that. I'm not crying, but I just peeped it.
Are you saying like people will see you shoot somebody and then they try and
So like if I'm working on a client, right, and it's my shoot, and say if I bring like a BTS shooter with me to help me,
that's one that moves and
That
shit,
you
right?
bring, and then they
they'll
hijack
start
it?
trying to hijack. Yeah, I've had that before.
I'm throwing hands.
I'm throwing. Yeah,
I'm
I
going
want to
full.
say
I'm
names.
going early 2000s.
He said he wants to say names.
I'm going.
Hey, this is Within Range podcast. You can say whatever you
I'm
want.
going early.
I can't. But
going
you know
early
what? I'm
2000s
not even mad.
paparazzi,
I'm not gonna
dude.
lie. I'm not even mad because I've been wanting to say this for so long. But I'm not even mad at that because if the art, it's really the artist's fault. Like if they want to go cheap, they want to go cheap. And if the homie's cheaper than what I charge, I'm gonna let the homie have it. Fuck it. Fuck
Okay.
it. I'll let you
Okay.
have it. You know what I mean? But if, like, for example, I work with Nappy, right? Nappy is the homie where I will never step on anyone's shoes. If anything, like, I'm going to do the BTS, and if they're asking for stuff, I'm going to let them know to reach out to Nappy. I'll have respect. You know what I mean? Like, any content, reach out to the main shooter.
Okay.
Like, I can't give no information type shit. So it's always respect with me. When I go on to other shooters, I definitely don't try to step on no one's shoes. That's a big no-no.
But dude, the thing is like it's weird that I've noticed because we work in the corporate world and that's the world I know and like other places I've been where it's like you look at other industries where it's specialized like that, like dentists refer to other dentists when they're full or on vacation or when they don't do a specialty. Like they have these networks set up and it's literally part of the business,
Right.
you know?
Oh, yeah.
And they don't even necessarily get kickbacks, but when someone comes into the other guy's office and is like, oh yeah, you need to go to, and that kind of thing, it's crazy that you don't see that more often. And then you see people coming in, getting brought in and then stealing something. They know who they are.
Yeah.
They're going to watch this and they're going to have that little hit of adrenaline where they're like, oh, fuck, they're talking about me.
Hey, man,
God.
you do your thing. If whatever you need to get money, I'm not, there's money to go around everywhere.
Man.
So I had a question before you guys
Go
move
ahead,
on.
your guy.
So I want to try to ask you questions on the opposite side of the coin. So instead of pet peeves, what's more gratifying? Is it the client getting that first reaction that you get to see, or is it building that relationship if you do get to sit down with somebody all day and do shoots with them?
Yeah, so I think the most gratifying thing is knowing that they're gonna get like no matter what, like they're gonna get quality work, and that's just more so like I guess I'm a pleasure guy. I like seeing people like have pleasure in receiving good results. So like I take pleasure in that too. Like I just love seeing people enjoy great product, great service, and that's something what I would want. You know, if I was a customer, obviously, like I would want some good shit. So I think that's most gratifying to me is that, and then I think the next best thing is it turns into retainer work. They like you so much, they want to do like a contract or a
bringing
deal.
you back.
Branding
that's
or
crazy.
whatever. You don't know
That's
where
awesome.
they work, so they might refer you to like a business that they work in, like Coca-Cola or whatever. Like you never know who you're talking to, so I treat
It just
everyone with
takes
respect.
one like
One.
that to change your entire
One,
trajectory,
bro.
and that's
Just don't be a shithead on shoots. Just don't feel like
Don't
you
be an
know,
asshole.
Don't be an asshole. Don't feel like the
Simple,
the
dude.
client is like has to be rushed. Like I'm working on that too. I'm working on just being natural with the shoots, especially like portrait shoots in front of the backdrop and the lights. Like I'm learning myself because a lot of these girls or guys, they never shot before. So I'm like, okay, we're doing this together because this is my first time kind of like shooting, this portrait shooting. It's not my cup of tea, but
Yeah.
I still make great work.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And then as long as don't fake it till you make it, but like obviously just stay calm. Tell all the new shooters just study your work, know your camera.
Facts.
Know your camera is the key.
Man.
No, you can't.
Well, Tuna, I want to say this too. So obviously we know this is kind of a makeup episode, but I don't know what number. I think last episode might have been number 40 or 50 something. This is episode 70.
Okay.
So you got a solid number.
Yeah.
You got a solid turnaround. We appreciate you coming back, man. Tell the people, like, what are you working on next? Can you share, like, any, like, up-and-coming, like,
Let me see.
events? Like, and if we could,
he's
and listen,
checking
and
the
if,
calendar
if,
live.
if we
What
could
a
pull up,
flex.
if we could pull up and you maybe send a text message out, we wouldn't,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be upset with that.
Let me see. So I'll name a couple. So tomorrow we have a client doing. So I'm doing those two real estate closings. So like people giving the keys away. Like I've been doing like
Doing
more
the
of those.
My brother and
Videography for, like, a
sister-in-law
realtor?
just
Yeah.
got keys the other day to their house up here.
So Sarah did that for her house, and her realtor like hired a videographer, but she like had a whole
Really?
dude. They had a whole video. They ASU
Get
themed.
your camera phone
They
on.
Vegas,
It's a
in
photo
the
shoot.
house. And it was funny because they were texting me and they were like, "What do you like? What should we use?" And I was like, "Hey, it's a college house." And they used "I Love College" and like did a whole thing. But that's people again another lane who
telling
people
you.
don't even. That's not even on so many people's radar, but it's on plenty of
You
people's
just can't
radar.
box yourself in.
So what
Yeah.
else? What else you got?
So we got the closing, and then we have Viva Phoenix Festival. Have you guys seen that?
No.
Freddie Gibbs is doing
Oh, no
this.
way.
Freddie Gibbs is
Indiana.
from Gary, Indiana, where I grew up.
Oh, shit.
Drew's right next door to it. over
Okay,
there.
hell yeah.
When's that?
That's tomorrow at 2 to 4.
Dude.
Yeah. So I'll be shooting for a group, raw footage. They didn't need no edits. And then right after that, there's some guy that reached out from, I think he's from North Carolina. He's coming in for the Rod Wave show. He wants like a personal shoot, making money there. And then I was also doing the Sunday, also, what was it?
Whoa.
So what we're about to say? We're about to
Sun
say
Devil,
something? Dude?
whoa.
No.
Oh, he said Sun
Okay,
Devils.
yeah.
No, dude.
can't
A
say
fair
no.
shoot actually tomorrow too.
Oh, the state fair.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
cool.
I have not been to the state fair in years, man.
I'm just saying,
I
dude,
know
I won
people
my
are bitching
girl
about the prices.
Yeah.
but
I won my
yeah.
girl a panda there playing hoops. So
Oh, yeah.
Bro, I
can
hear
I
those
say, dude?
prices are crazy. You see those TikToks?
Dude, the
Dude, it was-
Instagram reels, everybody's
Yeah.
talking about that state fair. Like, I mean, listen, we're in an inflation time. You think the fair ain't gonna raise the
Right,
numbers on
bro.
that
Yeah,
shit?
yeah.
I mean, I'm old enough that I used to walk in and like if I put a $20 bill in the quarter machine in the arcade, you've never felt richer.
Oh, bro.
And that's not even covering 2 people on the Ferris wheel.
Exactly.
That's not even a 2.5 minute Ferris wheel right now. It's gotta help you if she wants a churro. You're fucked. You're sunk. You're completely sunk, dude.
Basketball player. I actually had shot a basketball player, so he reached out and he's like, I'm the only player on this team that's taking photos.
Not to cut you off, Jay Crowder.
Oh, yep. Shout out to Mel Media and J Visions. They put me on with that shit.
So Jay Crowder, ex NBA or Phoenix Sun. Who is this?
You said he's the only player on the team.
Oh, so he's like the only player on the team that's asked for photos. So I'm the only photographer there behind this whole team, and he's the only one getting
Who is
photos.
it?
Oh,
It's just it's a guy from Arizona Christian University.
Okay, ACU.
Yeah, ACU.
All right.
Yep.
dang.
So,
Okay, so he's gonna have a fire scouting.
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
His highlight tape's gonna be crazy.
bro,
with
those
you
shoots
on
are
it.
so easy just because like you're only focused on one player, but it's so smart to do because once he shares it, the whole team just wants him now. So I already have like 2 other
Jeez.
players just wanting more of that.
Oh, 100%.
Right
Oh.
after that, easy.
That's keeping up with the Joneses for those parents on a holiday.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
Like, did you see that Timmy Johnson had a videographer there?
Yeah, different.
And then like headshots for businesses, like it ranges from different
Dope.
things. And then maybe at the end of the month, Valley Girls TV reached out. I don't know if you've heard of them, but
I think so.
they're a reality TV show from Arizona.
Oh yeah,
wow, I didn't know
I
that
did
was-
see that.
And they're like Bad Girls Club, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks
I've
wild.
heard it. Yeah,
It looks wild.
So they want to do season 2 in Texas, so we're just working out some deals if we agree to it.
That's crazy, dude. I'm picturing you doing corporate headshots, dude. Like I've had those taken before.
Yeah.
And I'm just picturing some guy like Chad from accounting coming in his button up
Yeah.
and having no idea. Like this guy's like tight with Waka Flocka, shot
Yeah.
Key Glock,
He doesn't
like
even know.
crazy Ace Hood, dude. Like
That's
he has
the cool
no
thing,
idea.
just doing being versatile.
Hell
I
yeah,
love
man.
I love people like that in general too.
Yep.
I think that's just like people are like, oh, I didn't expect that from you.
Yo.
One of the best compliments I can get.
Yeah.
Man.
Yes, sir.
Well, Tuna, we're glad to have you back, man. If you officially blessed us, we're going to get this episode right. We're going to keep up with you. And like I said, let us know what's going on in the Valley. We do a good job of keeping up ourselves. But if there's anything we could pop up at and just be a part of, we'd be thankful.
Got you, bro. Got you.
Appreciate
Thank
you, bro.
Guys. Yes, thank
Drew,
you.
hit that
man.
outro music.